Oh my god, hey! Welcome back to my Stager YouTube channel. If you're seeing my face for the first time, hello, my name is Mickey Joe and I am obsessed with all things theatre. Now I was sitting here getting ready to film another video for my channel all about the Tony Awards when the trailer for Matilda literally just dropped. It has suddenly appeared on the internet. Now this is a film adaptation of the musical version of the book that doesn't relate to the previous film adaptation of the book, if that makes sense. So this is the Tim Minchin, Dennis Kelly musical adaptation that is being turned into a film by the same director, Matthew Walkers, interestingly enough, as in the same director who directed it for the stage. Now I feel like this movie musical has kind of been on the back burner. People are less aware that it's happening, and it's coming out this year. We've already found out some of the casting. I did a video before where I talked about my reaction to that and how maybe it was a little bit surprising. Emma Thompson having been cast as Miss Trunchbull, a role that has traditionally been played by male actors in the stage version of the musical. So I'm really excited to watch this trailer because we really don't know much about the vibe of this movie musical, and it's always interesting to watch these and try and gauge as much information as we can. And if you look very carefully, you can usually find out quite a bit. The biggest question from these is always, what songs are they keeping? What songs might they be cutting? How different is it going to be to the stage version that we know? So we're going to watch it together now, we're going to react to it, and then we're going to dissect it and find out as much as we can. Here we go. So we are opening on the gates of Cruncham Hall.
This school
We're hearing Emma Thompson.
is full of rebels.
We're seeing the back of her head. Are they going to show us Emma Thompson's face as Miss Trunchbull? That's my question. Not so far.
What is your name?
It's Matilda. Okay, I like the aesthetic of this already. I like this corridor, it's very green.
Matilda.
We recognise that music.
Matilda Wormwood.
Cute. Oh, they're giving us the best hook of the show already. Oh, lots here. Some of it familiar, some of it less familiar. Wow, is there more?
Matilda Wormwood. Criminals like you need a real lesson.
Ooh. Oh my gosh.
See if that child is still alive.
Okay, lots to unpack from that trailer already. I'm going to go back through, I'm going to talk about everything that we can work out from what we just saw. My first impression is that I'm liking the vibe of this. This feels familiar of the vibes of the stage show, the aesthetic of the stage show, and it's suitably different enough to the previous film, which I think is my concern and a lot of people's concern, is this is something that's already been adapted for film, and it's quite an iconic film. So it's important that everything looks sufficiently different so that we can separate the two. So in the first frame, we saw Cruncham Hall. We can see a statue there of Miss Trunchbull. I can't quite make out what is written beneath the statue. I don't think it's the school motto, which is the Latin for children and maggots. There's something written over on a little sign over on the right there, and I can't make out what that reads either. Next we see Miss Trunchbull in her office with all of these TV screens. This is a familiar image from the stage show with a little bit less colour, so a lot of the school scenes and her office seem to be a little more drab and less colourful. We saw some very vibrant scenes in the rest of the film, and I think in a stage show you want everything to look slightly more cohesive, but in a film you do a lot with the mise-en-scène, with the colour palettes to suggest tone and location. So that makes a lot of sense that this would be darker and greyer. I'm intrigued by the way that they formed this square. This just instantly bothered me, that they're not forming a square, that it's got this little cutout in the corner of where they're standing around, I guess, coats that have been piled up on the floor. I'm wondering if this is part of school song, I do not know, or if they're about to sing school song after we see this scene. We will find out. We then see a wide shot of Emma Thompson as Miss Trunchbull. The outfit she's wearing is pretty familiar of the stage version. She's definitely wearing some kind of platform shoes, the coat is familiar with the tight bun on top, and we see Matilda as well with piercing blue eyes, long brown hair, very Matilda-esque, very familiar of the way that she's styled in the stage show, less crazy, messy hair, but again, I think that's more in keeping with a camp aesthetic for a stage show. You would want something slightly more natural for the film. And then we're seeing all these letters on doors. Now I'm wondering if this has just been put together this way for the trailer. I'm thinking all of these letters that we see maybe the letters that they sing in school song, you know? So you think you're able to survive this place by being a prince or a princess. You will soon see there's no escaping tragedy. If you're just finding out now that that song is basically the alphabet, then you've learned something here today on my Stage a YouTube channel. But in the stage show, they push through these blocks that have the letters on to really hammer that point home, and I'm wondering if these doors are how they do it in the film. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, if I had more time to watch this, you could see one of the school children there singing something, and if you lip read her, you could probably work out that this is definitely school song. In fact, where I've paused it here, you can see an L on this door they've pushed open. This is definitely school song, and they're definitely showing you the letters as they go around the building. Okay, then we see this frame of her at sunset wearing pajamas, doing the iconic pose. This one, I'm wondering if this is when she sings Naughty, potentially near the beginning of the film. That would be a very dramatic way to have it with her doing it outdoors at sunset with the sun behind her. I sort of always pictured her just singing this in her bedroom, whether it's a sort of a dream sequence moment or she actually goes outside or she's standing on the roof of her house, something like that. I could see them doing that kind of a thing, but I expect that's what this number is. Okay, then we're seeing literally some footage from Revolting Children. We're seeing adorable little Bruce leading this number here as they're dancing through the corridors. And then we're seeing a version of it where they're all wearing sparkly school jackets, which I assume is the end of the number. I assume those are both from the same number, and it just becomes this dream sequency moment where they're doing it like they're rock stars in the sequin jackets with all of the intense lighting, because that's what the number lends itself to. The fact that they're doing like microphone poses, I can't see if they've actually got microphones, but again, that's what it lends itself to. We're seeing Matilda cartwheeling through the corridors of her house here. You can see a very pink bedroom filled with teddy bears behind, which I doubt is hers. I'm going to say that's probably a Mrs. Wormwood bedroom. And she's wearing the same pyjamas we saw her wearing before, so I'm wondering if this is still her singing part of Naughty here. So we've seen her bouncing on the bed with the teddy bears, so it could be hers. I just don't feel like that would be her bedroom with all those teddy bears. It kind of looks too nice, and we know that she lives in kind of misery with these parents. Then we actually see Mr. and Mrs. Wormwood. They look fantastic. I love the way that they've both been styled. Very familiar of the stage version. We can see the decor of the house is, you know, incredibly gaudy, which fits. Oh, we just saw a shot of some children on a big metal swing going around there. I bet you anything that that's staging When I Grow Up, kind of a reference to the stage version where they have them on swings flying out into the audience. This really striking piece of staging there. I'm thinking that's probably where that is in the film. I'd be intrigued to know where they're going to put When I Grow Up in the film, because you have to include it. It's a beautiful piece of music, especially the bit where it goes into Miss Honey's verse. But they use it in the show, if I'm not mistaken, to kind of reopen the second act after the interval. And obviously when you have a film, you don't have an interval, so those are the moments that definitely have to be restructured. We're then seeing fireworks over a circus tent. Now, I don't know what this is about, unless this is part of the story that she's telling with the acrobat and the escapologist and all of this thing that she's narrating to Mrs. Phelps that turns out to have been the true story of other characters. I'm not actually going to tell you because that would be a massive spoiler. If you don't want spoilers, I'm not going to go into it. But I do think that we will see this as part of the story she's telling. Because obviously in a film, it's not just going to stay on her telling the story. It's going to cut to a fantasized imagining of it and you're going to actually see it, which is exciting. Okay, we are then seeing her and Mrs. Phelps in the audience, and the people around them in the audience aesthetically look like they are dressed up with the kind of the hair and the costuming we're seeing here to be of a different time period. So I feel like what they're doing here is she's telling Mrs. Phelps the story, Mrs. Phelps the librarian, and then they're going to be in the story watching it happen, like they're going to be in the audience of the event. Now Mrs. Phelps looks very excited. She doesn't know where the story is going. Matilda knows where the story is going, so she looks discernibly less excited. Or I'm reading far too much into it, but that's the vibe I'm getting just from this frame. We're then seeing close-ups of the cake, which is making me incredibly hungry. We are seeing Bruce eating the cake. I take back what I said earlier. So, we see Bruce eating the cake, and look what you see in the background. It's the pink lighting and the sparkly jackets. This is not Revolting Children, this is the song Bruce, where Bruce eats the cake, which is a less obvious choice to have that kind of sparkly jacket dream sequence moment, but it still makes sense with the nature of that song. Now we know what that number is going to look like. And now we can see what it says on the statue as well. It says no snivelling. We also get a very quick shot there of Mr. Wormwood discovering his hair has been turned green, and we get a shot of Miss Honey looking very excited about something. I'm going to say that's her cheering at the end of Bruce, saying, "Go on, Brucey." We then get this lovely framing of Miss Honey and Matilda lying on some picnic blankets together, reading some books and just enjoying each other's company. We're seeing A Tale of Two Cities is what Matilda is reading, and then Crime and Punishment. In fact, they're probably both books that Matilda is reading because she would absolutely read Crime and Punishment. I'm wondering if this is from My House. That's my favourite song in the show, so I am very anxious about how that is going to be staged in the film. Then there's an interesting shot that we see here. This is two people standing and cheering in a sunset, and they look like they're standing on a roof of... it's a camper van, I think. I'm wondering if this is Matilda and Miss Phelps. Hard to say, something's being thrown in the air. I can't immediately work out what this is going to be from my knowledge of the stage show, but I am intrigued. It's another sunset, so whether this links up with the shot of Matilda we saw at sunset before, it kind of looks like she could be wearing her pyjamas again. We then see, okay, this is going to be what Revolting Children looks like. We're seeing this lovely, colourful rebellion scene outside of Cruncham Hall with lots of streamers and some red Les Mis-esque flags. That's a nice touch. And then we skip to this little, not post-credit scene, but post-title scene that they've put in here, where they've revealed Emma Thompson. So they've shown us her face, and she's definitely got some kind of prosthetics going on here, I think to make her ears longer, and at the sides of her jaw there to give her these jowls. And in the next one, it looks like she has a prosthetic nose as well. So they're showing us the hammer throw of the child, and yeah, that's a prosthetic nose. Look at that. We've got some fake teeth going on there. I just love the boy playing Bruce doing the cross there. But that is everything that they have shown us from the Matilda trailer. So, like I've said, some interesting things we can work out there. Some numbers we know are definitely still going to be in the film. Revolting Children, Bruce, and I would bet from that trailer as well that we're definitely going to see Naughty, that we're going to see My House, definitely School Song as well, which is all good news, because I love this score, and the more of the score that they're actually keeping in the film, the better, as far as I'm concerned. It's a very good sign that the same director is adapting it for the film. And I've got to say, that's made me pretty excited about the film. I wasn't sure if this was something we desperately needed adapting for film again, given that there had been such a successful film adaptation of the Matilda story before, but that's made me really intrigued. It looks really creatively done. It looks to have kept the heart and just the message and the soul of the stage musical while putting it on film. So I'm really looking forward to that one. Let me know your thoughts on everything that we have discussed on the new Matilda trailer in the comments section down below. Let me know what you thought of it, and if you managed to pick out any other details that I missed. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to subscribe to my Stager YouTube channel for plenty more content coming very soon about all your favourite shows and movie musicals. Also, if you want to support me as a Stager content creator, head over to patreon.com/MickeyJoeTheatre, where you can gain access to a bunch of exclusive photo and video content. I hope that everyone is staying safe and that you have a stagey day.
For 10 more seconds, I'm Mickey Joe Theatre. Oh my god, hey, thanks for watching, have a stagey day. Subscribe!